Welcome to the North Texas PodConnect. The North Texas PodConnect is a revolutionary way to network that combines the best of traditional networking with the power of the digital world. By utilizing the power and reach of radio, live streaming, and podcasting, and by leveraging the Difference Media LLC's expansive audience of over 4 million viewers and listeners, PodConnect enables professionals to connect with like-minded individuals, share knowledge and experiences, and build personal brands through a unique approach that opens doors to new opportunities, business relationships, consumers, and community leaders. So, sit back, relax, and turn up the volume as some of PodConnect's charter members discuss the impact networking through podcasting has had on helping them grow and expand their businesses. Because PodConnect starts now.
Good afternoon, good morning, welcome to another episode of the North Texas PodConnect. I'm your host alongside a great group of co-hosts today, and of course, producing as always, Lyndon Wilson. I am Nathan Smith, host of the podcast. Excited for you guys to get the chance to hear what PodConnect is all about. You know, our goal, of course, is to help bring people together, help increase your brand, help teach you about brand awareness, help you become less obscure, more relevant, right? Using the medium of podcasting to do so. And so we spend a lot of time not only developing our members, right? We use this as an actual networking event, but it's a live podcast. So instead of going to a networking group, which many of our members are also part of as well, get a chance to come on here, discuss relevant business topics that are going to actually help them level up their business, but in so doing, really increase their brand awareness through the guests that they bring on, the interactions we have, the follow-up, the time we get to spend together outside of this show. But also we want to bring relevant content to our listeners that will help them level up their business. Of course, as we do that, we've expanded and we've opened up what we call community shows in many different suburbs throughout the North Texas area. And those are kind of the offshoot of this particular podcast. We call them the community different shows. We've launched one in Denton. We've launched one we're about to launch one in Frisco and Rockwall. And there's a lot of other cities that we're looking to target as well. But that is really our goal, our passion is to bring people together, right? Because businesses do not succeed or fail based on a good product or service. That has a lot to do with it, obviously. But I think that's pretty much everyone is aware that you've got to have good service and a good product. So yes, if you don't have those things, you're probably going to fail. But if you have those things, a lot of businesses are still struggling because not enough people know about them. They don't know who they are, what they do. And so we want to mitigate that in a way that is fun, exciting, relevant, and we do that through podcasts. So today we're going to spend one whole show talking about leveraging the show, right? The group, right? Which is a live podcast, kind of a strange concept. I get it. What we do. And then as we finish out the month of September, we're going to be talking about a relevant topic that probably some people don't realize is relevant. And that's the concept of business credit. Everybody's very concerned about their personal credit, right? We know our credit scores. Is it good or bad? What makes it good or bad? But we don't understand the power of a good business credit score, leveraging that business credit for funding and all kinds of other topics. So we're going to spend this next hour talking about PodConnect, how to leverage PodConnect, the benefits of what we're doing. We want you to be a part of this. We want you to be a part of this movement. We want you to ask questions, right? Comment, right? Contact us after the show. But then we're going to jump right back into our normal rhythm of talking specifically about some very important topics with our show next week through the end of September. And then from there, hey, who knows what we got a whole exciting last quarter to the year, and we can't wait to get that planned for you. So with that being said, I'm going to bring in our wonderful co-host today, of course, starting with Lyndon Wilson, the producer, the owner of the Difference Media LLC, who does not only PodConnect, but all the community shows, just has a vision for connecting people, helping them grow, helping them realize their potential as business owners. Lyndon, good morning to you, sir.
What's up, Nathan?
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
That's good. You're looking good. I don't know if you smell good because I'm not in the same room, but I'm assuming.
I smell delightful.
Okay, well, that's good news. And we'll also bring in the wonderful Jim Thomas. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning to you guys.
Jim Thomas is our resident, just business expert in a sense. He has got to start in the fitness industry, uh, opening up gyms and health clubs, helping people do that himself, but also other companies. But has really branched off in the last many years and just business in general, helping people from top to bottom. From hey, I've got this idea to how do I put this in place, all the way to keeping that business functioning and running. And so we love having him. You're going to hear a lot from him as we dive in a little bit later. And then Matt Kern, who is not only a PodConnect member and a valuable co-host, but he also is the host of the Denton Community Difference up in Denton on Tuesdays at 11:30. He's a real estate mortgage guy out there. Just knows Denton left and right. He's part of Denton Does It, which is a community program that just gets a lot of people involved in a number of different things. And so glad you're with us today, Matt.
Thank you, guys. Good morning, everybody.
Have you back. We haven't seen you in a few weeks. I know you've been busy getting the Denton show launched. And guys, if you're in the Denton area, and the Denton area is pretty wide, pretty much northwest of North Texas, I guess.
We're the top of the pyramid, sir.
Top of the pyramid. Okay, that sounds good. I like that.
We're on the top.
I mean, really, you are so close to Oklahoma. Even if you're in Oklahoma, you're not that far from Denton.
I'm 40 minutes away from the Red River.
There you go. So if you're anywhere in that area and you want to, you're thinking to yourself, how do I get more relevant? How do I get my business to the next level? Talk to Matt. His information's scrolling across the bottom, and he can get you connected, whether it's as a sponsor, a host. Man, you can come on the show as a guest. You can be a part of that Denton community and just be a voice to not only what you're doing in your business, but building your brand and being an integral part of that community. So, Matt, keep up the good work there. We're going to just quickly, I'd like to talk about what we've done over the past kind of week. I guess this is our ninth or 10th episode. I lost track.
I think 10th.
I think 10th. Okay, it's a great time to do this then on the 10th episode. So we started out with a couple of pretty important themes. Jim talked us through really 4 weeks on business funding, which is a very important part of starting a business, right? Getting the funds, whether it be borrowing them. Sometimes you can get grants depending on what you're doing, and then also the continual funding of business, meaning additional capital for things like marketing, expansion, all kinds of, he has a theory that if you are not, if you could always use money, right? For one reason or another, right, Jim? You can always be thinking, even if you're just squirreling it away for when you need it, you should always have that capital ready, because you don't want to have that opportunity and it not be there. It takes some time to get or whatnot. So that's very important. Go back and listen to those. In the last 4 weeks in August, Stephen Pine, who's with Pattern Associates, talked with us about risk management, right? And now that's not like you say risk management and nobody gets excited about that because you have the word risk in there. So it doesn't sound sexy. Let's just be honest. Right. But it's an extremely important topic. And we talked about risk management from everything from your basic, structural coverages to employment risks, to relevancy risks, to IT, cyber risk, all kinds of topics. So there is risk involved in business across the board, right? And if you're not taking the proper steps to put in place things that are going to mitigate, the thing that may never happen, right? We hope it doesn't happen. But if it does, you're going to be taken care of. And so extremely important topics. And as I mentioned, Lyndon, talk to us, give us about 30 seconds on business credit, what's going to be coming up for the rest of this month.
Well, what we want to talk about and what I've been helping people with for years is understanding the opportunities and then also the risk of not establishing your business like a true business. And we've had these discussions before, but if you are running the operations of your day-to-day business based on your personal credit file, you are not only putting your business in jeopardy, but you're putting your whole family and your future in jeopardy. And I'll give you an example. If anything like COVID happens again, and you start missing payments, and everything is under your personal credit file, you will start to experience some impact on your credit score, right? And so now you have extremely limited your opportunities, but you put your family in danger, because if you can't take care of your family when you need credit, that is a huge risk.
Mhm.
Some of the upsides of establishing business credit is the steps you have to go through to become a legitimate operational business, not just a self-employed person that works for yourself so you don't have to have a boss. But this is a true business that through business credit builds another asset. And Jim Thomas can talk about this more. And if you have a retirement or exit strategy, increases the valuation of that particular business.
Well, I mean, that sounds, we talked about this offline and it sounds extremely important. I don't want to get too far into it because we're going to spend 3 weeks talking about it. But make sure you guys come back next week, 11:30, and then the following 2 weeks after that for the rest of September. And then we're going to switch it up for the last quarter and try to do some kind of mini topics. We haven't narrowed down exactly what we talk about. We're going to make sure that everything we do here is not just obscure, not just kind of general business topics about, oh, you got to work hard and manage your time. And I mean, those things are 100% true, but we want to provide very tangible, actionable things that most of our networking groups don't go into detail because they don't have the expertise on that, or they haven't thought about it themselves. So we want to use this as a networking group for that regard, for our members and for our listeners. But we want to make sure we're going into detail on some very important topics. And we'd love to hear from you guys. So comment, hey, can you talk about this in a future episode? Can you, or ask this particular question? Whatever that is, we want this as we build this audience and as we get more members that are going to be actually on the shows as co-hosts along with Matt and Jim. We want to be doing the things that you guys need that we're going to help you grow and level up your business. And so I mentioned the very beginning, and we'll segue right into kind of our topic today, which is really, we're talking about ourselves kind of in a weird way. We're talking about PodConnect, how to utilize PodConnect to help your business flourish and grow, to increase your brand, but also to understand the power of utilizing the podcast medium for relevance and connecting with the right people and bringing in an audience, et cetera. And so one of the biggest things, it's interesting because the last thing I mentioned, Jim, when we were talking at the risk management topic a moment ago, was relevancy. Okay. And another way of saying, am I relevant, is, am I becoming obscure? Okay. Mm-hmm. So overcoming obscurity, which is what I said in the open, the biggest reason that small businesses succeed or fail is, or fail mainly because not enough people know who they are or what they do. So as we grow PodConnect and as we branch off with these community shows, Jim, talk about what do we really have here for people that are going to be that really just need to be a marketing arm of their business to help them not become obscure, if that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so let me give you an idea of what I see on so much of this. And most businesses, they're going to have a certain drive time to get to their business, right? It's going to be a 15-minute drive time, 20-minute drive time, whatever that is. And that's where they're going to attract business. The other part of their business, that's their physical plant, but they have another storefront. And that other storefront is their website. And that needs to be every much the revenue generator as the physical plant is. And the beauty of PodConnect and in general, podcasting, is that now all of a sudden, instead of having that 3, 4, or 5 mile radius where you're going to draw folks, now you have global reach. The entire globe is your customer. And whether you're not going to be pushing them into your physical plant necessarily, but you can certainly push them to your website. And there's, retail sales, there's, teachable courses, there's all kinds of things that people can put in there that's relative to what they do that can really grow this. Because at the end of the day, most people do not do near enough to get the word out. to let people know who they are and what they do. And this is the ideal medium. And this is just the beginning of it. I mean, your question's a great one. And that's just the very tip of the iceberg, because now there's going to be numerous things that we can do to help grow this. And I know I have clients and folks that I work with, they have clients on all continents, and people that they talk to on how they can either help improve individual performance, how to improve business, any number of things. And it comes from this. And I know, I can speak personally. I received a call from a fellow a while back. He was in New Zealand, of all places, talking about how my personal podcast for my business was one of the top ranked podcasts in my niche in that country. And he was calling because he was looking for joint venture opportunities. And so this can open up all kinds of things: joint venture opportunities, sponsorships, advertising, affiliate opportunities, all of this, things that most companies are not doing and aren't taking advantage of.
Well, let's dive into those here. We're going to hit a first commercial break, and then we'll dive in a little deeper to what some of those opportunities are and how we help people utilize that through this podcast, this networking group, and then our larger groups, our larger shows in the North Texas community. So stick around on North Texas PodConnect. We'll be right back.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Texas Edge Insurance. We're more than just an insurance company. We're your partners in protection. We understand that every person and every business is unique. That's why we don't believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to insurance. We work with you to create a customized insurance plan that meets your specific needs. And we're always here to help you, no matter what. We offer a wide range of insurance products. We also work with over 30 insurance companies to find you the best possible coverage. So what are you waiting for? Contact Texas Edge Insurance today. Visit our website or give us a call at 817-406-2929 to get a free quote today. Introducing Bankroll Media, a digital marketing partner designed to take your business to the next level. At Bankroll Media, we are a team of creative and innovative marketers that works with mortgage loan officers, realtors, many e-commerce businesses, and much more. At Bankroll Media, we're different because you're different. We get it, and that's why we're here. We're not your typical marketing agency. We don't believe in cookie-cutter solutions or one-size-fits-all approaches. We believe in building relationships with our clients and understanding their unique needs. We want to understand your business inside and out so that we can create marketing campaigns that are tailored to your specific needs. From social media management, lead generation, web design to content creation and SEO, even email marketing. Bankroll Media can do it all. Bankroll Media, building presence, connecting ideas.
Are you worried about your retirement? Do you want to make sure you have enough money to live comfortably? Do you want to protect your assets from taxes? If so, then you need to talk to Smart Safe Retirement. We are a team of experienced financial advisors who can help you create a retirement plan that is right for you. We will work with you to understand your needs and goals, and then we will develop a plan that will help you achieve them. We will also help you protect your assets from taxes so you can keep more of what you earn. Don't wait any longer. Call Smart Safe Retirement today and start planning for your future. We can help you secure your financial future and enjoy a worry-free retirement. Call us today at 469-233-9127.
And now back to the show.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here alongside Jim Thomas, Lyndon Wilson, and Matt Curran. Right before the break, we talked about obscurity, and one of the things that many people struggle with is not being visible. Okay, and so how do we utilize PodConnect? Again, just the fact that we got these three gentlemen on here. Of course, Lyndon and myself will always be on, but just with Matt and Jim, visibility right there to our audience. Well, that's a big thing. So that right in of itself is a kind of basic low line benefit of what we're doing and what we're going for. But Jim, before you talked about so many missed opportunities when it comes to branding, awareness, familiarity, relevance. It goes in kind of the, am I being relevant? That's the opposite of not becoming obscure. The know, like, and trust factor. All these things are potentially achievable through what we're doing. Behavioral branding, that's obviously something big. So let's kind of break those down one by one and give more details about what you see as the biggest benefit of what we're doing and why people need to be a part of this. We'll just call it a movement because really that's what it is, in order to make a difference in their communities, but more importantly in their business.
And I think there's a lot of things that can, be a part of this. The first reason, I think, the simplest, is a low barrier to entry. This is a relatively easy thing to get into. Doesn't take a lot of time, a lot of education, a lot of anything. You can get into this pretty quick. Now, let me kind of talk. I want to kind of just sidebar just a little bit here and share something that I think is so crucial to this, because these opportunities are sitting there, but why aren't people doing them? And I'll tell you a quick little story. This is a few years back. I had a friend of mine, her and I were going to networking events, and she was trying to grow her business and trying to, to help it work. And I gave her the opportunity to participate on my YouTube channel. Okay. And she declined. And the reason she declined was, to use her words, and I'm not going to name names, but hey, I need to lose about 5 pounds before I do that. And the big message that I would give on this, first and foremost, start right where you're at, start with whatever you have, get started, because you know what? Nobody cares if you think you need to lose 5 pounds or if you think you need a haircut. What they care about is you helping to solve their problem.
Exactly.
They care about the value that you're going to provide. And be you, be authentic. You're not trying to be something you're not. Okay. Whatever you are is good enough. It's going to work. There's 8 billion people out there. There's plenty to talk to. And so I think that's one of the key things, because we can talk about a lot of these opportunities, but unless we get kind of our head around that mindset portion of this and how we need to see ourselves, sometimes it's tough to get started. And then I'll back that up a little bit by saying this, is that folks that do get involved, one of the common mistakes that I see is they don't get the results they think they should have gotten, say, the first 30 days. And so what do?
Quit.
They quit. They quit doing it. Okay. Mm-hmm. And, Lyndon and I were having this conversation.
That's the case in many businesses, unfortunately.
Yeah. And
many endeavors.
And what happens when they quit? That's the one time we can 100% guarantee the result. It's simply not going to be there. And so really, when I look at this, is we have to be dedicated and committed. That's the beauty of PodConnect right there. I mean, it's dedicated and committed. It's going to be there. We know, you're showing up, Lyndon's showing up. We know this is going to happen. And it's like, back when TV was a little more of a thing and your favorite TV show was on, you knew 7 o'clock on Tuesdays, that's where I'm going to be. And that's what you want to be here for, that trust. And then I think, we have to be authentic. We have to be who we are. I forget who said it, but, don't try to be somebody else because everybody else is already taken, right? And then the third thing is provide value. And we start to do those things now all of a sudden, and we take, websites, because what I'm thinking of here is how do we expand our reach beyond, because most companies all have websites, right? But they're an online brochure. Mm-hmm. They're not a place where you can interact and a place where things can get done. Okay. And you start using mediums like this and formats like this, and you start pushing this out. And I'm sure we'll talk about some of this here, later in the show, but you start pushing this information out and you start getting it out, and now it becomes searchable and people can find it. You're going to start to grow your business. And the beauty of it is, other than your time spent, there's really minimal dollars being spent here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that brings up when the person makes an excuse, it's like the old, well, I think it's too expensive. Oh, really? Okay. Well, if you have a dollar amount, what do you think that dollar amount, that value is worth, right? Why should I reduce the cost of what I charge to meet your value or your expectations? I think a lot of people don't have the right expectations to the technology that's being able to be used today.
Mm-hmm.
And we can advertise and do so much on the internet for free now that it's ridiculous that we don't take advantage of it using YouTube, which is the number 2 search engine in the world,
Exactly.
right? Owned by the number 1. And when I teach a class on YouTube on creating a YouTube channel for your business and building referrals, and I said, one of the reasons why you want YouTube is because YouTube is a search engine and people are looking for you. They just don't know who you are yet.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best things about YouTube, if y'all are not aware of this, is that when you create a video, YouTube translates your audio verbiage into searchable words. And so when it translates it, then it puts it out there when people are searching for certain topics like what we're talking about today. There's a possibility that they could find us just by searching for that word.
That happened to Brian Poduska. I mean, people have heard that story before, but he's a real estate agent that um, has a lot of West Coast people that are starting to contact him now, simply because when they looked up North Texas realtors, his videos started popping up, his shows started popping up, and so when there's a choice between a static website, as Jim said, just basically your billboard, or they're watching someone and how they carry themselves, interact, and participate, it's a lot stronger than just a static website. One of the things that I've been studying a lot is how the sales cycle has changed over the last 10 to 15 years, especially with social media. And just to back up real quick and talk about the opportunity. It used to be that our opportunities were extremely limited, and sometimes cost prohibitive, right? It was so expensive to get our message out on radio, billboard, TV, print ads, whatever it may be. And so the average small business couldn't afford to compete in that area. So it was all word of mouth, referral, everything like that. Now, as Jim said, you can do it for free if you're willing to put the time and the effort into it.
Yep, that's right.
Now, let's talk about how that's changed the sales process. 10 to 15 years ago, if you went to a sales training, you were taught that there was a process you go through. Number one is you got to prospect, right? So everybody's going to have to do that forever.
Yep.
But then once you connect, you've got to build rapport, right? Get them to know you. And then you're going to talk about the features and benefits of what it is you're selling or serving. In today's market, people have already searched out the features and benefits of what they want. They know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
If you have video, you've already built rapport. You don't realize it, but you have, because they've watched you and watched you and watched you, and they've determined that you're consistent in not only your message, but in your actions. So rapport is built. That's shortening the sales cycle. And I think that now, once you meet them, you don't have to sell the features and the benefits. You've just got to give them what they want.
Yeah. Do you remember yesterday in our podcast? I think Tanya Blitz brought this up. And of course, she was talking about dementia patients. But what she said was, you don't ask them if they want salt or pepper. You just bring it. And I
Right.
don't think that's exactly what she called it, but she's don't create too many questions when they already know there's going to be one or two choices.
Right.
Bring both choices and put it in front of them, right? Don't Even though they're still choosing, you're just creating another lengthy time of them making their choice.
Yeah.
Put it out
You know,
there. I
what's
wanted to say something real quick, Nathan.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
what y'all were talking about earlier is that, and I've seen this because I'm new to the podcast business here, right? But when I saw y'all on PodConnect talking like we are today, and then I read the media kit, and then I was like, that's what I want to do. That's what I need to do. But as I came into it just as, a guest, right? Just being able to speak in, jump in like I am today, being part of the group, interacting with you guys on an important topic. But it went from that to creating this chapter, and then from the chapter and starting to build out my community within my community, then Lyndon comes along and says, hey, we're going to have a PodConnect group of people who are going to be a part of certain things that not the public's not always aware of, that we're going to be able to do to help that community grow and grow and grow. And so now all these people that were in my community are now part of Nathan's community and Jim's and Lyndon's, and that PodConnect group is growing, but it came from all of our little chapter areas into this one, and now that community is growing inside of another one.
Exactly. Real quick, I do have a question. I have one question for Jim and for Matt. And Matt, you brought this topic up and you were talking about value. And I think everybody has experienced some questions or challenges about what they offer and what the value is. And would this be a fair statement that a lot of times when someone's questioning the value of something, they're not questioning the value of you or what you offer. They may be questioning their commitment and the level of commitment that they're willing to put into what it is that you offer. And so it's not worth me to pay this because I know I'm not going to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, sometimes
pretty
things are
self-defeating,
overkill, right?
Pretty self-defeating right off the bat there to have that mentality, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
Well, that's what's the slogan? You're only worth what you think you are worth, or something like that, right? And that sometimes you don't, it's doing this type of business and working in sales is that you have to have a confidence in yourself that you are worth the investment of whatever it takes to get the job done. And if it's just time that I have to put into podcasting, then I should allot for that time to put into it to make a go of it until I say I can't take it anymore, or you know what, this is really working. And then whatever the cost is that's along with that, then I have to make that investment to pour back into myself. It's just like educating myself.
Well, one of the things, it's funny you said that, Matt, because years ago when I was doing some coaching myself, one of the things I identified is that you are doomed for failure if the first two things out of your mouth is how long is this going to take and how much do I have to do?
Yes.
You're done.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things when I'm talking to a potential new agent. It's just how much time is this going to require? I'm like, okay, you might as well just go on because you've already lost.
It's going to take what it's going to take.
Yes,
but
you have to.
Jim and I talked about this. It's kind of like being a personal trainer, right? You're looking at a trainer and you're looking at what they charge per hour and you're trying to determine if there's any value there. Well, it's not the value of the trainer and the program. I think you're trying to convince yourself that you're willing to go every day you're supposed to go, put in the work you're supposed to put in, and get the results that you're going to get.
But here's the thing, like people, and I literally deal with this all the time. There are faster ways to do things, and there are better ways. That's actually what we're trying to present here, is we're trying to present a medium that are going to help you, cut the line a bit in terms of where you're trying to go. But you still have to pay the price. And I don't mean the physical price, although yes, of course, but you still have to pay the time price, which, as Jim mentioned, is not that much. But if you really want to do what you say you want to do, if you really want to level up your business, you want to get better, you want to get more relevant, you want to be seen, heard, remembered, right? Then there are certain actions that have to take place in order for you to get where you want to go. That's like people all the time. Hey, I want to make more money. I want to get out of this job that I'm at. Well, do you really want to, or are you just saying these things? Because I got a path for you to do that, but you still have, there's still a price to be paid. And that price is a lot less than it used to be. That's the great thing.
Yeah.
Podcasting is a less price from a time standpoint than traditional networking, than mailing campaigns, than door to door, right? Whatever else, those things have their place, obviously. So yeah, it's quicker, but if you're not going to put in this, if you're still not going to pay, like if I go buy an item at the store and it's on sale, but I don't give them the sale price in money, just because it was on sale, I still don't get the item because I still didn't give enough. You got to pay the price, whatever that, even if it's a shorter, more efficient price to pay, which is obviously what we're trying to do here, guys. Hey, let's go to commercial. This is a great conversation. We'll pick it up when we get back right here on the North Texas Community. I'm going to say Community Defense, North Texas PodConnect.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
JP Direct Health offers affordable health insurance solutions for individuals, families, and small businesses specializing in custom coverages to fit your needs and budget. JP Direct Health offers comprehensive benefits, including PPO health plans, accident and critical illness coverage, dental and vision, health matching accounts, along with telehealth at no cost per call. Call JP Direct Health today to learn more about how we can help you protect your health and your budget.
Do you want your home or office to sparkle? Then call Elite Diamond Cleaning today. From basic cleaning to deep cleaning, and using only the highest quality cleaning products and equipment, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Our team of experienced cleaners will work quickly and efficiently to clean every nook and cranny, taking care of all the details so you don't have to. With a variety of pricing options to fit any budget, you can be sure that you are getting the best possible price. Call Elite Diamond Cleaning today at 214-300-9876 to schedule a free estimate. Your home and office is a diamond. Let us get it out of the dust.
Are you looking for new or more reliable and affordable home services? Look no further than Utility Connect. At Utility Connect, we understand that every customer is different. Thanks to our partnership with The Difference, our free concierge service seamlessly shops all of your utilities and services for your home or business with one easy phone call. So what are you waiting for? Call Utility Connect today and experience the difference. For more information, give us a call at 469-414-2033 or visit us at www.utilityconnect.net/thedifference to learn more.
Are you a business owner looking to grow your company? Get fast, easy financing up to $5 million with no minimum FICO score required. Apply in 60 seconds and get funded in 24 hours. Call Jim Thomas at 214-629-7223 to talk to a financing professional today. Your business's future is waiting. So don't delay. Call now and tell him that you saw him on The Difference.
And now back to the show.
Welcome back to the North Texas PodConnect, where we bring the magic of podcasting and networking. We fuse that together to help you level up your business, to make you more brand relevant, to help you be top of mind, increase your visibility. And we've had a great conversation. I want to reset a little bit here. Normally we have a specific topic. We have different guests on. We're going to be talking about business credit the rest of the month on these shows. But we wanted to stop down as we enter into what is supposed to be fall. It doesn't feel like fall. It's not technically fall yet. I realize that, but we've been so spoiled here in North Texas the last couple of summers that we forgot that a summer like this is actually possible. So we'll get through it, hopefully. But we want to take time just to almost talk about what we're doing as we're doing it. It's kind of strange, right? We're talking about podcasting, as we're doing a live stream, the power of that through PodConnect, which is the networking group, where instead of maybe you're part of a networking group that meets live, I think all of us are as well. But we wanted to use our live group as an actual podcast, a live stream, where we get to connect with each other. We can share a little about our businesses, but more importantly, we get to create content and ask questions, bring in, the wider audience that's watching to kind of to jump in on this meeting with us, in a sense, if you will, which is in the form of a podcast. So we're talking about today the value of that, so that as we jump back into our normal formatting, our normal content, you say, okay, hey, this is something that I can be a part of. Yes, as a listener, yes, as somebody that comments and shares the show. Obviously, our viewers are greatly appreciated. But beyond that, as somebody that can be a part of our show, just like Matt, Jim, myself, Lyndon. And so they just wanted to reset kind of what we're doing here as we get to the second half of the show. And we've got, and one of the things that I think Jim mentioned, and Lyndon, you've talked about this 1,000 times, is being top of mind, right? When I think, when somebody thinks, how do I level up my business? How do I become more relevant? I want to think, Lyndon wants them to think, oh, the difference. Lyndon can help me figure that out, right? Matt, you wanted to jump in here before we dive completely into a different topic.
Know,
Go
Nathan,
ahead.
if you realize this, that as I was jumping on with you guys back in the beginning of this, August 1st was our launch date for Denton.
Okay.
Okay. So within this time, since August 1st, I've had 5 shows myself, and now I have 2 other paid co-hosts and sponsors, all within 30 days.
Which you're saying that is the opportunity to, that's how quickly you can find people that are going to help grow your show, but also connect with the right people.
When you bring up the word podcasting, you see people's ears perk up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, oh, really? Oh, I love podcasting. Or what's that about? Or, oh, I love to be on, oh, I've been on podcast. You know, what are you on? What are you talking about? And then when you get to start telling them about, you know, interviewing and showcasing and highlighting your local leaders and business people who are making a difference in their community, that's pretty much all you have to say.
Yeah.
Let me jump in there real quick, because I think this is a very, very important opportunity to touch on this. If all 4 of us were sitting at a coffee shop today or having lunch together, and we were talking about how to build our business, and I said, Nathan, way you can help me is anybody that needs whatever it is I'm selling or serving, just refer those to me. Same thing with Jim. Same thing with Matt. When we get up and leave that table, what's going to happen?
We're going to forget that we all asked that of each other.
I'm not. Y'all, the rest of them will, Lyndon, but I won't.
I know you're different, Matt. You're different.
Okay.
But in most networking circles, is that not something that's very common?
Yeah, because your phone rings, and then all of a sudden you forget what you were doing.
It's unintentional.
Yep.
It's unintentional, but it happens.
So now we're sitting here talking to each other. Each one of us has shared this show to our own audience, the people you're needing me to introduce you to. We're being introduced to those automatically, simultaneously. Matt, if you've got 5,000 friends, Jim has got 5,000 friends, Nathan's got 5,000 friends. That's the potential in this 1 hour and 15 minutes for me to be introduced to 15,000 people. And Matt, to your point in starting the Denton show, in 5 shows, y'all have had over 10,000 people that's watched it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now
right?
tell if someone told anybody watching today, if someone told you, I can put you in a place in 1 hour and let 2,000 people, 2,500 people see and hear your message, would you turn that down?
Well, you would say you would be crazy not to.
People pay a lot of money to have those opportunities.
I think they do. Yes, sir.
Well, and let's go back to. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
Well, do you remember something Nathan was talking earlier about? You know, back in the different how advertising was done in a different way. Well, do y'all remember back when a business card ad was $250 or more?
Yeah.
Or just a business card ad in a newspaper or in a phone book or something else.
Exactly.
I remember when people read the newspaper. I was
just talking to a guy today with the Denton Record Chronicle. They produce 1 paper a week, but everything else is digital.
Just for record's sake, to have the physical copy, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, back to your point, Lyndon. The opportunities, but the biggest thing is, and this is why people spend so much time on SEO, search engine optimization. If you don't know what that means, which is very important, but that's helping you be top of results, right? We talked about the benefit of just having your presence on these shows and how it was helpful for Brian Baduska. But let's talk about just top of mind in general. Like when I think of, hey, here's a guy that can help anybody in business where they're at get to the next level. Right now, I'm thinking of Jim Thomas. No doubt about that, right? If I need somebody to connect with in Denton, I got a guy moving to Denton. I got to get him in touch with Matt. Well, why do I know that? Because Matt is top of mind because we built a relationship through what we're doing here. And I know Matt is well connected. Same thing with Jim, obviously Lyndon. That thing that we all want, but we don't know how to get here. So Jim, talk to us a moment about, I think we all know the importance of top of mind, but again, I want people to really understand the opportunity they have through PodConnect to be that first person that someone thinks of for this, and this, right?
So let me just back up a little bit on that, and then I'll dive right into the top of mind and how I think it can be approached. And who I'm talking to like right now are the folks that are watching, the folks that are listening that, yeah, it sure sounds good, but I don't know if I can do it. And I go back to, training a lot of salespeople over the years. I mean, thousands of them. And some of them walk in that room and, man, they have the DNA shot and they're ready to roll. And my job is just don't mess them up. But there's a whole bunch of others, which is most of them, that they need some help. And I think one of the biggest challenges that we face initially with this, I think we face it, the business owner faces it, I think the consumer faces it. It's that issue of uncertainty. What if it doesn't work? What if I don't like it? What if people don't like me? What if people say bad things? What if this? What if that? That issue of uncertainty, it starts to overwhelm people and it causes them not to get involved. And so the first thing that I would do, because I want to overcome that from my perspective, I want to overcome, the folks right now that have that uncertainty, love the idea, because who wouldn't want to be at top of mind? I love the idea, but boy, I'm not sure I can do this. I've always done something a little bit different. I'm a little more quiet. I don't like to say a whole lot. And so the first thing I like to do, like I mentioned earlier, let's start with right where you're at, but let's take the time to write out a plan of action, a simple plan of action, one that you build on every month, you build on over time, because there's a tendency sometimes, I think, when we start to look at this, let's do all of this. Well, it's going to get so overwhelming that none of it's going to get done. Mm-hmm. We have to find time. Like one of the great things about, PodConnect and all of this is the massive amount of content that it's going to generate. You participate in one of these shows, you're involved in one of these shows, you've got an hour of content that's going to be cut up into, probably 30 to 60 minute slices and maybe a little bit longer that you can post all over the internet. And you can do it every single day. You'll never run out. And yeah, is that simple? Yeah. Does it not cost anything? Yeah. But you know what? For some folks, it's overwhelming. And so let's see if we can help eliminate uncertainty. And okay, first thing in the morning, I always like to do it first thing in the morning because it's always quiet. The phone's not ringing. A bunch of emails aren't coming in. I'm not getting text messages. So I might do some of that myself. I might have some of it automated. Okay, if I'm sitting watching a TV program, well, hey, I can do a couple posts right here. But a plan of action that works, not a plan of action that's going to cause me to maybe try to keep up with you, because maybe I can't keep up with you. That's not my goal. Okay, my goal is how do I get it top of mind? And what we have to do is one of the things about being dedicated and being committed. We have to be all the time doing this, because when you do it all the time, you stay at top of mind. Plus, it builds trust. When Lyndon was talking earlier about videos and things like this, one of the things that I have found is when a client calls in and I talk to them, or a prospect calls in and I talk to them, so much of this has already been done because they have watched video after video after video, and they know my words. They know my Texas jargon better than I do in some cases. Okay. But they know it. And sometimes when I'm on the phone with them, they'll say, "Hey, Jim, listen to this. Do you recognize that?" And it's me talking in the background. And so this is what you start to have. But for us to get in that arena, I really think for a lot of folks, not everybody, okay, but for a lot of folks, we have to overcome uncertainty. And so I would suggest a plan of action, a simple plan of action. What can I start doing today? And what am I willing to commit to today? And let's start to build on it, because the more I start to do it, it's the only way I can get results, is I have to do it. And you'll start to get them. And I think there's tremendous opportunities there for folks.
Don't y'all feel calm when Jim starts to talk and he just settles us down?
Like all right
Common
world.
sense.
Yep.
Right? Now I've got a plan of action. We can do it. Thanks, Jim.
We'll get more of that calming voice on the other side of the commercial break. We're going to go to commercial. We'll be right back on North Texas PodConnect.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
A small or large business owner? Do you need insurance to protect your business and help manage risk? If so, then you need to talk to Stephen Pine with Patterson & Associates Insurance. Patterson & Associates offers a wide variety of commercial insurance policies to fit the needs of businesses of all sizes. We understand that every business is different, which is why we offer customized policies to meet all risk management needs. So what are you waiting for? Contact Stephen and Patterson & Associates Insurance today and get the peace of mind that comes with knowing your business is protected. Visit www.piainsure.com or call 972-669-2431 to learn more.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
And now back to the show.
Welcome back to the North Texas PodConnect as we wrap up here about another 25 minutes or so. We're going to go an hour and 15 today. So great conversation. Again, we're just diving into taking kind of a step away from our normal schedule, topics, etc., to really explain in great detail the value of what we're doing, what we're offering, what we want you to be a part of, to make the difference in your business, to level up your business, to become that relevant voice in your community, to trend as far away from obscurity as humanly possible, and do those things in a fairly simple, quick, and cost effective means, utilizing the medium of podcast. And so we're spending a lot of time unselfishly talking about ourselves a little bit in what we do here. So I hope you hear our hearts as we go through this today and see what our goals are. So let's take a moment here, Jim. And I know Lyndon, you messaged me in the break about responding to something that Jim had said.
I did. So talking about top of mind, I think that most people understand what it is, but when you look and you poll people that are active and in social media, whether being a consumer or a producer, you start to realize that a lot of people are being top of mind in a completely wrong way. And what do I mean by that? One is they're being salesy and self-promoting. They're not being educational, and they're not being a resource. One of the other ways of being able to do this is having conversations like we're having, where you're not the center of the attention, right? But you're still getting the attention. And so when Jim was talking about a lot of people that feel uncomfortable about doing this and about losing 5 pounds, I'll tell you this. If I felt like I knew I needed to lose 5 pounds to be on one of these shows, but someone said they had a contract for me for $25,000, I wouldn't wait to lose 5 pounds before I went and got it.
Come on, man. Yeah.
So if you're willing to reach out to earn money and you don't care about anything in order to do that, then get that out of your head on podcasting, because people just want to know what you're going to be able to do for them when they get ready to hire you.
Yeah, every week that I'm on, I say, gosh, I need to lose 55 pounds. So, I mean, I'm still here. So that's
Your hair looks great today, by the way.
Well, thank you. Is that opposed to other days, or is that just a...
No, I'm just saying
Okay.
it looks really sharp today for some reason.
It looks good.
Well, some days are a hat day, so I'm going no hat today. Go ahead.
So let's talk about the format of what we're trying to do. And we're not saying everybody has to participate in PodConnect, but we hope that one of the things you can do with a podcast is show a living example that can inspire others to do the same thing and be productive and successful.
Right.
That's what we're doing. And that's what podcasting allows you to do if you do it correctly. And you do it with the right group of people that support your core values and the core values of your mission. You're going to attract the people that you want to do business with and that want to do business with you. And you're not always chasing business. They start to come to you. And so, as Jim said, you've got to do it consistently and frequently. And being able to produce content that you can put out, and once it's done, like, we take these shows and we split them up into shorts and reels, and I'm sure everybody understands what that is. Those are then distributed to all of us, and they're put out. If you've got something like Publer, a couple other software programs, you can run these recurringly, and they'll run in perpetuity. I'll give a quick example of what I'm talking about in perpetuity. 3 years ago, I had a co-host sponsor that couldn't continue with us for personal reasons. She messaged me the other day and said, "Hey, are you still running my ad on your show?" I'm like, "Well, not our current shows, but they're on the shows that you had them on before." And she goes, "I just got a call and a sale from one of the shows we did 3 years ago."
Yeah.
Now, that's pretty cool in my opinion. I don't know if there's other stories like that or not, but when you're talking about, and Nathan, you've heard me say this, the positive impact branding. So if you're going to, what we're trying to do again is inspire, motivate, and help people see how to use this tool, whether it's PodConnect, whether you do it on your own, as a way to serve your community, serve the people around you, serve your business partners, and really show that interconnection that you can have that is an attractive characteristic to people that would be watching. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Total
I mean, it makes 100% sense. And really that, it all comes down to, this is what networking is, right? Whether you're using a podcast or live stream, whether you're doing a traditional networking group, as I mentioned, we're all part of a traditional networking group as well. If you're not willing to do the things that are necessary to meet the right people, none of those are going to work, and neither does PodConnect. The beauty of PodConnect is that you get to streamline and shorten those time frames that allow you to become what you want to be in your business, right? Both from the financial standpoint, but also, and I think more of the focus is on meeting the right people, becoming that top of mind, that increasing your brand awareness and relevance. You can do that much quicker when a lot more people see you, and then Go ahead.
So I mentioned earlier about networking and sharing referrals and being a brand ambassador for each other. One of the other things that I want people to know, and I think this is so critical, right? Again, if you're in part of video branding, podcasting, whatever it may be, if you go to a happy hour and you pass out 20 business cards, how many calls are you going to get tomorrow?
Maybe zero, probably.
Maybe zero, 1, 2 if you're lucky. But I can promise you this, notwithstanding what Jim said about a person that just can't be on camera. If you go and you pass out your business card and you say, I'm Matt Kern, I'm part of the Community Difference Denton, and I want to invite you on my podcast, I would say 90% of the cards you pass out, you're going to get some sort of communication on.
Yeah.
Because you're offering value to them without them having to refer you. You're giving them a chance to get to know you on a deeper level through the podcast, but they also see value because, again, they're getting to tap into your audience.
Yeah, and let me say something. If you're nervous about being on video, find somebody to spotlight and put the pressure on them.
That's exactly what you do.
And
100%.
guess what else? Is they're bringing content that you don't have. You're not the pro at, right? We don't have to be the professional at everything. We just need to know the right people.
100%.
Well, and part of this is going to help you become more comfortable.
Sure, it does.
I mean, nobody here had ever had a podcast before we did that. I mean, I've been with The Difference with Lyndon for a while, but still, that was my first time. And it was his first time when he first started The Difference.
Yeah, and I'm the guy that dropped speech class 3 times in college because I didn't like to talk in front of people.
Yeah, and now he teaches, not only does this, but teaches seminars and real estate classes and all kinds of stuff.
And Jim, you mentioned to me the other day, and I know we got to go to commercial, Nathan, so I'll make this short, but you mentioned to me the other day how doing this for you, even all the things that you've done over the years, helps you stay sharp in doing videos and talking to people. I mean, it's a skill that we develop along the way, but it's practice as we're doing it, right? I mean, even communicating with each other. I think we leave here learning how to make our points better, how to communicate better, how to draw information out of someone else better.
Yep. I'm always thinking that every show. And I listened to the show. Like last night, I went to the gym and I had my AirPods on and I listened to the show last night that we had yesterday, at 11:30. And just
kind of like watching game film, right? To see what you did good, see what you did bad, and see where you need to change.
Yeah, and I wasn't even really watching it. I was just playing it, so I could listen to it and see where the dead spots were, or where I missed the right question, or I didn't say the right word. I'm just critiquing myself to become better, so I can be a better host. Because I want to be able to draw that information that somebody's holding within and get it out of them so we can all benefit from that.
Right.
Well, and that's just a matter, that's just inspecting what you're doing. That should be a goal of any business owner, whether you're part of a networking group or not. And I think so many times people just try to start networking and they're limited. And I know we've already hit on this, but it's just so important. Their vision is limited to direct referrals. Direct business. Yep. And if you have that mentality, you're going to run out of referrals very quickly. And you're going to burn out on networking. You're going to think it's not for you. And it's unfortunate because it's an integral part of, you can't forget business. You can't really flourish in life without networking, whether it be for your kids to have groups here or your church, or, have you ever tried to go to church and not plug in anything, not know anybody, just be, people, you can do that, but you're not really growing. That's the same.
Well, I think that's a good point. That's a good point you're making, Nathan, is that doing things like this demands personal and professional growth and development. It demands it of you.
Yeah.
And you really have to be honest with yourself when you get involved in this. Am I willing, as we said before, to continue regardless, or am I just going to quit and go away?
Yeah.
And I think that the more we do it, the more people start to see us and feel confident that we're not going anywhere. That's where they start to trust, know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right, Lindy, because some people will wait a year or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's happened with The Difference, Matt.
Yeah.
The first couple of years, everybody was looking at this going, first of all, I don't understand what you're trying to do. Secondly, I'll wait and see if it works out for you. Well, now that we've got the Denton show, now we've got Rockwell coming on, Wiley working on Frisco. I got a call the other day from the Woodlands of all
Wow.
places. Hey, would you be willing to do a show down here? I'm like, well, I don't
Yeah.
have to drive, so yeah, let's put one together.
Right. Yeah. There you go. You just brought up
Yeah.
a point. I don't have to drive.
We are not going anywhere, but we are going to step away for a second for our last commercial break, and we'll be right back here in the North Texas Community Different. Dang, I did
And
it
now
again.
a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Welcome to the North Texas PodConnect. The North Texas PodConnect is a revolutionary way to network that combines the best of traditional networking with the power of the digital world. By utilizing the power and reach of radio, live streaming, and podcasting, and by leveraging the Difference Media LLC's expansive audience of over 4 million viewers and listeners, PodConnect enables professionals to connect with like-minded individuals, share knowledge and experiences, and build personal brands through a unique approach that opens doors to new opportunities, business relationships, consumers, and community leaders. With 3 levels of participation that include co-hosting, hosting, broadcasting your branded business commercial on our website and your PodConnect show, to being a station sponsor where your commercial plays on all of our network community shows, as well as our new radio station. Combined with done-for-you social media content like Reels and Shorts to expand your brand's visibility and reach, all at a fraction of the cost of one studio rental for a 1-hour podcast recording. So, if making high-level connections with other professionals and the residents of the communities you serve would be an asset to your professional growth and business development, then give us a call at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com. And now back to the show.
Well, as we get ready to wrap up here, again, much thanks to Matt and to Jim and to Lyndon, of course. And I hope as you're listening or going back through and listening after the fact, you understand what the goal of today's show is, but more importantly, what the goal of PodConnect is, what we're trying to do here, and what we're already doing, and the difference that it's made in the lives of so many different people. And so as we wrap up here, Matt, give us a couple final thoughts. Spend this time a little bit talking about yourself, your personal business as well, and we'll be done here for the day.
All right. Thanks, Nathan. So being up here in the Denton area and part of the Denton community, our purpose here is to help people facilitate the transaction in their purchase of residential or commercial real estate. So I work for a company called Freedom Title. They're based out of Flower Mound, but we have 2 offices here in the Denton area. So I cover this area up here for their business development. And so, it's my job to build relationships and to get to know people and figure out how is the best way that I can help real estate agents, mortgage lenders, and developers and investors use the right team and get the job done on time and stay and keep everybody in communication. And so that's what our team does here is they stay in communication with everybody. We always want to have customer service at the forefront of our business. And then we want to be able to be part of the community like the Denton Chamber of Commerce and other associations like our Greater Denton Wise County Association of Realtors. So we work in part with not only our real estate industry, but also with the local businesses here. And I see the mayor of Denton almost weekly and get to talk with him quite a bit. And today I saw him, at our chamber Wake Up Wednesday. We had over 150 people again at 8:00 this morning.
Goodness.
And it just shows the value that we see as local business people here in Denton about getting together and networking and seeing how that we can help each other and then also shop locally and refer to our local business people too.
Well, that's fantastic, Matt. You do such a great job. I mean, I know that you're well connected up there in the Denton world, the point of the pyramid, as you say, and appreciate you being on today. Jim, give us a few final words.
Yeah, let me give you a couple things on how we can help folks in funding. Then I have one additional comment on PodConnect and some of that we talked about today. But for any folks out there who are looking for funding, we have funding between $50,000 and $400,000. It's ideal for pre-revenue startups. It's ideal for first acquisition franchise, ideal for an acquisition, ideal for working capital. We can help get you same day pre-qualification, 680 credit score in all three credit bureaus, minimum income 50,000 per year each of the 2 previous years. Costs nothing, no risk to apply. If anyone needs help or just has questions, feel free to reach out. And so the comment I wanted to make on this was, I talked earlier about PodConnect and in podcasting in general, and all the content that comes from this. Folks that are involved in this kind of a thing, you're going to have more content probably than you'll get out initially, at least. But here's something that so many folks don't know is certainly YouTube. They might know YouTube has a pretty high bar to reach, but companies like Facebook, Instagram, Meta, Snapchat, they will pay you to post. If you are posting and people are seeing this, I think Facebook will pay you up to $500 a month. If you're getting it out consistently, people are seeing it. You'll get notifications. Hey, this reel had 700 views, and then they'll say, do more like this. So there's a lot of opportunity there above and beyond what you might think. The key thing is get started.
I think that's the biggest thing for so many people, is just taking that first step. Lyndon, give us some final thoughts.
Final thoughts real quick. I mean, obscurity being top of mind, working more efficiently with your networking, being able to truly brand, whether it's the awareness, familiarity, and relevance. Your behavioral branding. There's something called cause-based marketing. That's a story for a different day, but that's how you use podcasting. And then one of the things that Jim Thomas has always talked about is the differentiation of who you are versus who your competitors are, and how you can use that differentiation to connect within your community. And then finally, Nathan, just want to talk about next week and the following week in business credit. Business credit is going to really help you establish the type of business that has value and allows you to protect your personal assets. And so I hope everybody will tune in for that.
Well, I can't wait to talk about that, because again, I think a lot of our topics have really been very basic in terms of their necessity in most any business, but so many people, myself included, have a high degree of ignorance when it comes to all three of these topics, from funding to risk management and then business credit. So I know they've been a tremendous value so far, and I know they will be as we finish out the rest of September. And so, I'm obviously excited to be here as the host of the North Texas PodConnect. Eventually, I've only been here for 10 episodes, so I think I would know the name of our show. But that's because I've been a part of a number of different shows. And as we launch these shows that we're excited, we just always top of mind, because that's the end of the day. We want to teach you as a PodConnect member, as somebody who's on air with us, not only help your business grow and level up, and we use that term a lot, but then if it's the right fit, to take this concept back and do a show in your community, integrating parts of the community life, business life, the set of relevant things that are going to help make a difference in your community, bringing those to the forefront of your citizens, but also doing so as a voice of, hey, a successful business owner who is a huge part of their community. And this is kind of the training ground for that as well. And so not everybody that's part of PodConnect, that's a member of this networking group that's on air, is going to end up doing that. But we want to be able to, as we grow, that's how we're going to grow, right? We're going to grow by planting these shows and bringing what we do to the communities on a more granular level, because when you live somewhere, you know that community better, right? And Matt knows Denton. There's no doubt about that, right? And so from personal level, I have a passion for helping people escape the corporate prison. I was in healthcare software for many years, a number of other jobs. We don't have time to get into that. And I just wanted to do something different. I was tired of trading time for money. They always tell you to climb the corporate ladder. I did that for a little bit. The corporate ladder is not great. The view from the top is not as exciting. More money, yes, but more time, more headache, more responsibility, also yes. And so I wanted to shorten the time frame. We talked about that, right, in the networking space. I wanted to shrink the time frame for doing and building something great. And we're in the process of doing that in a whole nother industry. But my biggest passion is helping people do the same thing I'm doing, to break out of the corporate world, to start their own business, right? So they can take advantage of the things we talk about. If you have a job, most of what we're saying, generally speaking, may not apply to you as much, right? But as a business owner or somebody that wants to be an integral part of their community, it certainly does. So I want to help create business owners. I want to help people do what we do. We're in the financial world, right? If I can do it, anybody can do it. I have a degree in history, not super impressive in that regard, but I just have a passion for helping people and doing something fantastic. So if you're somebody that's fed up, you want to do something different, whether it's more income, more opportunity, love to have a conversation with you. Love to have you on the show and just say, help, we need help. I need help doing something. And we'll be there for you in any way that we can. So, gentlemen, it's a pleasure as always. Love talking to you guys. Jim, Matt, Lennon, of course, doing all the producing, but also heavy contribution today. It was fantastic. And so business credit starts next week, 11:30. Share the show, like, comment, subscribe. We will see you back then on the North Texas PodConnect. Have a great week. Hey, NFL football starts tomorrow night. I'm excited about that. So just threw that in there for fun. Hope you guys are excited about football season, which means colder temperatures eventually. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a great night.
Thank you for tuning in and watching our show. If you would like to see our next show, or more shows like this one, just click the QR code and go to show schedules, or just follow and subscribe to our channels to get updates and notifications of this show, and many others like it.